at Pro Touring Concepts as we just pull up with our cars and vans out the front. Chris the Grub here, he's still bloody cleaning out the cornflakes from the brekkie this morning.
Hey mate, filthy.
We're going to head off now. We're going to take his with us out west a little bit, and we're going to do a big shoot on the cars, the caravans. You can see exactly what we're running.
Briefly, it's a 19-footer off-grid.
And this is the new, the 23.5-footer, the 20th anniversary van designed by George just last year. So
yeah, it's going to be really cool.
We'll roll out now and take his along with us, see what trouble we can get into this afternoon. The F-Truck is really made for towing these big weights. The van, the new Lotus, it's a 23.5-footer. It tears around 3.4 tonne with a max ATM of 4.5. And when we tow it, most of the time we're sitting around that sort of 4.3, 4.4, like so 4.4 tonne mark. It's big, it's heavy, but the comfort and space in it. I've got 3 boys with a 4th on the way. So that's hence the big van, the big car. How easily a car like this can tow that sort of size, that weight, the length, the width. It doesn't, honestly. It drives like it's doing its normal daily duties, the same as sort of towing the boat. It's an absolute freak.
Back in the 4-cylinder, so the 79, we've got the lockup kit. Guys at DPU have sent us, working wonders for us at the moment. Tune loaded back in the car as well from Diesel Power up in Mackay. We've got the van in tow. Van's sitting around should be about 2.8, 2.9 tonne. The car's sitting around 3.2. The little bit of ball weight on there, ball weight around 200 kilos. So, oh man, we've just come up the highway, the car, it tows, sits on 100 fine, 4th gear seems to be the happy gear to sit in. With the 295s at RPM sits on around 2600, 2700, so it's not revving its guts out, but just find where that's where that torque range is. So when you come to the hills and stuff, the car will just keep pulling and keep going. It is nice to cruise in 5th when you're on the flat, on the highways and stuff. That torque converter locks it up whether you're in drive or manual. In manual mode, it'll lock it up from 2nd all the way through to top gear. Never use top gear, 6th gear when we're towing, we just don't get there. There's no need for it. Fuel economy, we sit at the moment around about 22.5, 23 litres per 100, which is pretty much what we expected to get. It is a 2.8 smaller engine, but you're pushing a lot of power through it.
We are just rolling into the private property. Thought we'd take this opportunity to have a bit of a yarn around the fire. We don't often actually get to do this midweek. I mean, some do, but some don't. So, look, there's this Chris beside us, and I think we might just waffle on about some of the stuff that you guys actually might really want to know about us pro touring before maybe even committing to doing a build with us, or even wanting to know a bit more of the background. So I'm actually going to ask Chris's background before coming to pro touring. So as in, what were you doing prior to pro touring concepts?
Yeah, I owned a gym. I owned an F45 gym. I had a franchise of the F45 network, which is very customer based, very, you know, goal focused, orientated business. I had it nearly 4 years.
Yep.
Up in Cairns, I own the F45 up there.
Yep. And then you came down to Brizzy, down the Gold Coast.
Yeah, I got hit up, asked if I would sell it because a few personal reasons in my life. It actually came at the right time. I agreed to the sale and then moved my life back down to sort of southeast Queensland where I was originally from and where my family are from, and yeah, so sort of came back home basically.
Yeah. What about pre-gym? You did stuff for was it AR?
Oh, yeah, a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Geez, 2005. I worked TJM ARB on the sunny coast. Contracted myself out to both of those, working between them.
Yep.
Yeah, funny story. A long time ago, I worked on Jace from All for Adventures.
Oh, there you go.
Cars. I think it was probably season
in the
2.
early. Yeah, wow.
Way back then, it was a long time ago. So
yep.
whatever the year, I can't remember how long ago that was.
Yep.
That was a long time ago.
Yep. And that brought you to the gym, and then you were with Norweld for a while. Your goal was really to be working on the Goldie.
My son lived on the Goldie with his mother, so that was what drew me to the Goldie. And yeah, Norweld was great. I love Norweld, and everything about Norweld is fantastic. You know, I gave up working in Brisbane with Norweld and stuff just to be closer to my son and be there for him and take that path and then one day you walked around the corner and that was it.
Yeah, it's been a few years now, eh?
Yes,
yeah, far
2020. So that
how many?
thought I'd celebrate.
I'd
celebrate my 4th year working for Pro Touring by taking 4 months off.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's another talking point. For those of you, Chris is going on a big trip around Australia coming up. When do you leave? End of
I leave in 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks. You think I'd know that? Yeah. So yeah, moving forward, none of you will hear from Chris for a while.
No more phone calls, no more emails.
No. We sort of handed over to Tate. Tate is, we've sort of moved Tate into the role where he's going to be customer focused and sort of filling in from what Chris has been doing.
Tate comes from a good background though. He spent a lot of time as a production manager on a production line for motorhomes and stuff. So he's very knowledgeable.
Yeah. Sorry, Tate, he's not actually here tonight. But
he's the one working.
He's the one working, yeah. But no, Tate will be moving forward in the next couple of weeks. He's going to be the man that's going to be answering a lot of your calls and navigating a lot of the stuff for all the builds. In a nutshell, it's really the builds are still the staple, but we've got a really cool online sort of movement happening. We've got a lot of products that we're working on still, and we're just hoping to have all of the launches for the products ready at the same time, and then we're going to get them all up online. You guys will be able to see them all soon. Got quite a few things that we're working on in that space to sort of a lot of things that we make and manufacture in-house to make it easier for touring and camping. So just going to make it available for all of you guys, not just doing a build with us, that all your unique bits and pieces. So that'll be pretty cool. Questions? Anyone?
Why don't you tell us, for everyone out there, how did pro touring start?
Far out. Whether it was just my inability to follow orders from working for someone, or I'm not too sure. I'm a sparky by trade, and I feel that I was I was always destined to just be my own boss one day, I suppose. But I did quite a few different things before even starting my trade, but I was in rigging, telecommunications for a while, electrical technician work, and then I ended up picking up a trade. I was doing Jim's mowing for 12 months, worked at, oh mate, the list goes, IGA for 12 months, Hungry Jack's for 2 years. But the trade, I always wanted to be a pilot or an avionics technician or a LAME, a licensed aircraft maintenance engineer. I got into the industry. I did 12 months of my training, and I actually just got totally sick of the industry. I disliked everyone that was associated with training. It bored me to death. Everyone was a bit of a has-been. I'm not mentioning companies or anything like that, but it freaking bored the shit out of me. So I did 12 months of my LAME course and dropped out of that. That was in Brisbane. It was 2 trains and 2 buses every morning and night to get there and back. It was a pain in the ass. So the next best thing was to do a Sparky apprenticeship. And it was with a certain company. I had a few mates that worked for Stowe Australia, a big construction company. I managed to get with them. I had to go back to school because I left at the end of year 10, so I went back to a tech college where I finished my year 11 and 12 QCE. Was that what it was called? Yeah, year 12 certificate or something like that.
Well, mate,
Was that what it was? I don't
10
know.
years out of you, so probably changed.
Yeah. So I did did that so I could get with the company. I was sparking for quite a while. It was more, I suppose, like surfing, camping. Just the travel thing was a bit of a hobby. It was a bug from a younger age. I was always sort of working on my own cars and mates' cars after work on weekends. And then I started to have a little bit more flexibility with work at that stage with the company that I was with, and I was able to sort of book in. Well, it sort of turned into like, it was all still for mates and mates' friends, as in auto electrical jobs. Because I had a Ford Ranger and a Hilux back in the day, and then I had another Hilux, and I was just constantly doing things to them. A lot of friends and family thought that I had to do everything to their cars too, so I had no spare time anymore. I was constantly doing things, and I thought, like, I've actually got to start probably charging for this, and so I did. I started booking in jobs, after work and on the weekends, and sort of before I even really had the brand, the business. It did get to a point where, it was 2014, I think, where I branched off from sparking all up. I was sort of sparking and pro touring at the same time for about 12 months. Started the page, started the brand, pro touring, and it got to a point where I could sort of safely rely on, 3 to 4 jobs a week at home, in the garage, in Miami. It was a duplex, believe it or not. It very quickly morphed from auto electrical jobs to doing all sorts of things, wheels and tyres, and orchestrating ARB bull bar packages. And I was already good mates with Isaac from Norwell back then. He'll have a bit of a laugh. I remember gawking at the first quote that he ever did for me back when I had my first 79 series. It was you know, as everyone does when you first get into the industry, you sort of like, you learn who's who and who does build good quality stuff. And Norworld was always, in my opinion, it was at the pinnacle, at the top of the tree. So it was pretty much building the business around working with companies like that to sort of be at that same sort of level. I had many council complaints with where I was in Miami about cars being on the street, unregistered cars on the street, too much noise, early mornings, late nights. I had complaint after complaint from council, from neighbours. So I was sort of kicked out of working out of the garage in Miami to then working out of the garage at Madrabar, out of my old boy's place. And we had a bit of a shed as well and a big carport. So we had some storage and had the ability to sort of hold a few cars at one time. Yeah, it was still essentially me, and then the old boy came on, he was helping me out a lot, and it just needed to, I couldn't fulfill the demand for what we had built. The brand, the page, the beast, I suppose, started to grow. We really needed some commercial space. One thing led to another, and got our shed in Burleigh and started putting on some staff and had the ability to take on more orders. Pro Touring concept sort of grew into a lot more of a commercial focus for building high-end touring rigs, start to finish, yeah, turnkey packages. Back when we started doing that, we were really the only ones doing it. There wasn't anyone else doing the whole kit and caboodle a whole lot. Look, it grew too quick. Like we couldn't keep up with the demand for what people wanted, and which inevitably meant that we couldn't keep up with our marketing, our website, just your office staff. The phone was just going off tap. Online inquiries and stuff like that was extremely powerful. Yeah, so we're still, it's even today we're chasing. I'm still chasing our tail, trying to merge into what the customers want, what Australia's, what a lot of you guys want. We're still sort of trying to merge a lot more of our content back to a lot more travel focused stuff, and being able to go on more trips and do more enjoyable things with some of our mates, and even a lot of guys that work for us. They all live and breathe this sort of stuff. And doing a few collaborative trips. We've got some stuff with Sean Scott, who's another Lotus ambassador, and Justin tripping a van. Even Chris here, he's got his new Lotus. But yeah, we're hoping to get a heap more of that content happening. Yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much the timeline for Pro Touring Concepts.
There you go.
There's a lot in between, but
from a dingy little shed in Miami to what's the shed in Burleigh now? 850 square metres.
Yeah, we get a lot of people coming in, a lot of customers coming in all the time, going like, "You should be stoked where it's at and where you've come from and this and that." And me personally, I always feel like it's never good enough. Like it's never where I want it to be. It's never not pushing hard enough, not working late enough, not crushing it as much as what you think it should be. But I suppose that's just the mentality of if it's your beast and you've created it. But sometimes you do have to step back and pinch yourself to sort of see where it's got to. But yeah, so
onwards and upwards.
Yeah, something like that.
Going.
Anyway, that's probably it for us.
Yeah.
We're going to keep having some more beers around the fire and sit out. It's actually raining. I don't know if you can see on the lens, but it is actually raining. You'll see some more stuff from us shortly. You can follow Chris's page, On an Aussie Adventure, on Instagram. They're gonna be traveling quite soon and doing probably daily updates of where they are. And yeah, we're gonna be continually doing some more frequent trips in the new Lotus van. and with the F truck, and then soon to be the new F truck as well. So looking forward to that. Just on the Lotus stuff, we are working with Lotus at the moment on a new sort of system where you guys can actually inquire about a Lotus van through us, and we can sort of do our best to align the timing for your build structures between the car and the van package. We will release more information on that shortly. I'm getting absolutely totally smoked out right now, but we'll keep you posted on that. So
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
What's on the cook this morning, mate?
We've got some bacon, about 2 kilos of bacon for 3 guys, a whole thing of halloumi and a whole carton of eggs. That's us. Yeah. This is the old camping special, basically just a smorgasbord of bacon, egg and halloumi. It's a heart stopper, artery stopper.
How's it cooking in the new Lotus, mate?
Amazing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Different being inside, cooking all the time instead of outside, but this is, it's nice. You sort of, it's cold outside, you can stay warm inside. If it's hot outside, you can stay cool inside. So either way, the induction's cool. The 2-burner induction's pretty wild. We can sit the coffee machine up here. Still prep stuff over here if you want to. But we were used to the induction in the brooder, so this was not too dissimilar. It's easy to use, clean. Yeah, love it. Big sink here too. Instant hot water with the gas. Can wash things down pretty quick. As you can see, we haven't, because I'm just take it straight home and put it in the dishwasher. But yeah, love it. Very cool.
Fresh.
Lost my manhood. I still look like I'm in my pajama pants, actually. Nah, thanks for tuning in, guys. We've done the pictures and the walkthrough of the 4-cylinder 79. Chris did a massive big run through of that, so itching to show you that. And we did our big walkthrough of the 23.5-footer Lotus. I know a lot of you have been asking to walk through it, so we're going to have that video up shortly. Thanks to the man behind the camera, Henry. I mean, it wasn't too bad a job, hey mate, coming out for a night out in Gold Coast inland. So anyway, thanks guys for watching.
Cheers.
Yeah, let us know any questions. Again, smash us, we'll get back to them. Cheers guys.